Welcome, my friends. Today I had the pleasure of going to Court Street Antiques here in Saginaw, Michigan for a visit with Jennifer, one of the owners there, she with her husband Jim. And being an antique shop owner and having been there for quite a while, there have been some interesting, unusual occurrences. And Jennifer has kindly agreed to share those with me and with you. And I think you'll find them fascinating and more than just a little bit spooky. So this is CJ, one of Charlie's babies. So CJ and I hope that you have a real good time watching this video. It was awesome being there. The possibly haunted doll.
Possibly.
And her sisters.
Her friends.
Yeah. So what happened?
So I'll paraphrase this with, before I had the shop, I didn't believe in energies or spirits or, whatever one calls them. But after being here for 10 years, there's certain things that I can't explain that happen. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe that it has anything to do with the building.
Yeah.
I really believe it's with some of the things that walk in that people have become very attached to in life. Most of the things that I get are from estate sales, yep. Auctions, state auctions. So the owners are deceased. They're no longer here. And when I bring them, of course, I don't have any sort of feeling. I'm not one that has a sixth sense.
Right.
It's just not anything that I have.
So what do you feel it is? An energy or a spirit? Or?
I think it one or the other. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, they could kind of almost be classified together even, really.
Yeah, they definitely could be.
So tell me about the doll that you put up on eBay.
I bought a box of dolls about a year and a half ago. Bought them at an estate sale. They were in the basement. They were in a dirty, dingy box. I haven't moved them from the box that I found them in. But one of the dolls, she was beautiful. She had a porcelain head. The doll was marked on the back. It had leather arms, leather legs. It was old.
Probably Germany?
It was definitely German, yeah.
Blonde or dark hair?
No hair.
No hair? Oh, they had the wig.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. No. The family that I bought her from are a very prestigious family here in Saginaw. They've been around for a long time, and if you're from Saginaw, you would have known the last name. And I'll keep that out. But
okay.
I bought the box. Just, I thought, oh, leather arms, leather legs. There's one complete doll. I'll buy the whole thing. So I bought the box, brought it back to the shop, and I stuck it in the back room for, several months, 6 or 7 months till I had time to get to the box. Mm-hmm. I then took the one intact doll out and put her up on eBay. And as a joke in the listing, I said,
I love this.
I don't believe she walks around here at night. Ha ha.
I think dolls are real creepy.
They can be.
My sister's got one. My sister's 73 now. It's called the Tiny Tears. Mm-hmm. And it's ugly. She took really good care of it. No thanks. Anyway, finish your story. I'm loving it.
So I sold the doll, and about 20 days after I shipped the doll out, I get a note back from the buyer. And it was something to the effect of, I can't believe you sold me this doll. I had a friend take the head off to fix it. Ever since, people in my family have been sick. We don't feel well. We aren't sleeping well. I can't believe you sold me this doll. She's out in the barn now.
Like she's blaming you.
She's blaming me for having a haunted doll. Yes, certainly. Yeah. So I wrote back. I said, "Gosh, I'm so sorry." I said, "But I'll take the doll back if you have her fixed. I'm not going to accept the doll back if her head's been removed. Mm-hmm. That's eBay policy. You
want to stop there?
I told her, since you've already destroyed the merchandise basically, mm-hmm. then if you can put her back together, I'll happily accept her back." So I didn't hear from her for another week. 2 weeks go by, she writes me again. It said something to the effect of, she wants to visit her friends. She misses her friends in the box.
That gave you chills when you heard that?
It gave me chills because nowhere in the description did I say I found her in a box of other dolls.
That's strange.
So that was the really weird, how did this person know Then I found her in a bunch of doll parts.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
That's
I offered
weird.
again. Yeah, I said, hey, return your 30 days. It's coming up. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what happened to the doll in the end, but I do know that she's gone. Her friends remain here in the box. They've been back there for like a year and a half now, and
Have they been doing anything?
not that I know of.
Okay.
But again, I'm not
Okay.
here in the dark, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So then what happened after that last communication you had with her?
Radio silence. I haven't heard back from her. That's been it.
That's been it.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me about her friends or sisters.
These are the various doll parts. There's composition dolls up in there. There's porcelain head dolls. Germany. There's a Santa from Japan. But with the leather bodies, you could tell that they came from a family that was wealthy. Who knows how they came to be in the condition that they're in, but those are the friends that are left in the box.
And this one says something. I can't make it out. I'm just going to hold these other ones up if you don't mind so you can see them. Now, this one is just a tiny bit disturbing to me for some reason. I don't know. And this is composition, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other ones that you just saw were China.
Yep. Porcelain, China.
This little baby doll. No, yep, eyes still work.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Should I be letting you do this? Because you didn't unpack the box yet.
No.
Okay.
I'm okay.
See you, bye. Talk about being pushy.
No. Go for it then.
This one is really, the whole body is composition. And a little bit of work on her curls there, and she'll look great. And Shirley Temple.
Ah,
Probably what Shirley Temple looks like now. And then there's two others. I bet this was really pretty when it was, and I know
she was too.
you probably have it nice and pretty before somebody lucky enough to add her to their collection. Did you know that was a Shirley Temple doll?
I didn't. No, I really haven't looked at the box again. Honestly, the email was disturbing enough where I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how they were found in the box. I haven't touched the box. They've just been sitting in the back room, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
So if there's a transfer of energy and I start having more problems than my life already has, it's because I did this. There's this cool Santa Claus in there too. His feet feel like they're bisque, but the face would be celluloid probably for that age. How old do you think he is?
I think he's turned the century.
Turned century? Yes, that's good. He's got a really neat expression on his face. Very cool Santa Claus. And then there's just a couple of body parts down in here. We've moved to the back of the store where there's another interesting story that Jennifer has to share.
So my mom and I love to rearrange in here. Things move faster once you rearrange. We've found that out. There's one particular piece here that we've had since we opened, and it's the sideboard. And for the first 8-9 years, we had the sideboard against the back wall. And my mom said, why don't we rearrange in here? So I said, okay. So we cleared everything out. Once we started to touch this piece and move it, the light there, the ballast has been burnt out for 3 or 4 years. There's no, it just doesn't work. Once we pushed this away from the wall, suddenly it started to buzz. The light started to flicker. It was the most bizarre thing. I mean, it was flashing off and on and off and on. And I looked at my mom, and kind of a joke, but not really.
Yeah.
I said, Mom, we're moving someone's things right now that hasn't been moved in a long time. And I said, I think they're upset with us. And so we finished up in here. It took us about an hour. And that whole hour, that light blinked off and on. Like I said, it buzzed. It flashed. And I told my mom, I said, when we're done in here, I said, that's not going to do that anymore. And so we wrapped it up back here. It flashed for maybe another 2 minutes until it knew that we were really done for the day. And we both moved up to the front of the shop, and she looked at me and she said, that light stopped doing that. And I said, I know, Mom.
That is strange.
I know.
And this is a solid building. It's obviously not something that would have been caused by any vibration.
No.
This is
No.
really a solid structure.
Once those ballasts burn out, they're done.
Yeah.
You don't get any more light. There's no more.
That's it.
That's it. You
Yeah.
can put a new bulb in it, and it's not going to work. The light's not functional at that point.
So that definitely, like I said, we're back in the back of the store now, where Jennifer had another experience.
So I do have people who come in quite often, who tell me that they feel certain things. They have that sixth sense that I talked about earlier, and they feel different energies. And it's always back in this particular section of the shop. And it's without my saying anything to people about my weirdest experience in here. Because I'll ask them, I'm like, well, where did you feel the most energy? And they say, oh, back in that area with, it used to be the half off room. And I know exactly what they're talking about. I was in here, it was a day in February, it was really snowy. The weather was just really bad. No one was out and about. I was the only person in here all day long. And let me preface this with, when you walk in and out, there's a sensor, and it goes off in the front. So I always know when someone's coming in or out of the building. Hadn't gone off all day. The apartments upstairs were all empty, and besides that fact, we've got a boiler, so there's no air vents between the upstairs apartments and down here.
Yep.
So I was sitting and I was rearranging. It was actually this shelf right here, and I was sitting on the floor. And it was like someone had just took the biggest drag off of a Winston cigarette and blew it over top my head. It wasn't like a smoker who comes in from the cold with this, the scent on them.
Yeah.
This was like someone took a fresh, long drag off the cigarette and just blew it, not even a foot from my head. And I popped up because it was such a pungent smell. And I ran out and I started yelling, hello, hello, who's here? And I went through the whole entire shop. Again, sensor hadn't gone off all day. There wasn't anybody upstairs. The apartments were, like I said, they were vacant at the time.
Yeah.
It was just me here.
Is there anything in the room that has been here since the store's been opened?
No, there's not. But what I think it was attached to, I had a rocking chair back here for a long time. And anytime I would move that rocking chair, there would be that's where people would say that they got the heebie-jeebies. And after moving that stupid chair on for long enough, I parked it back here, and I really think it was energy attached to that rocking chair. I actually gave that chair away for free. I didn't want it in here anymore. I was done with it. But I really do believe that it was that energy to that chair.